Guys, welcome back to Let's Play more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So we finished up last chapter, and now we get to find Oliver. Oh, my sweet, beautiful little bird, don't be frightened. Come, let us fly away together. Stay away from me, filthy fat man. Come quietly, you belong to me. I will not give you up. No one shall take you from me, though the price may be my life. I will never cooperate with you. Hey! Where are you, Duke 10S? Are you in here? Yikes. Busting down that door. No! Duke 10S. Who are you? You're the Serenes. Are you unharmed? We have come to help you. Your injury. Did that man do that to you? This wound must be tended to. Stay back! But do not approach me, cursed human. Uh-oh. Grail mercenaries have returned. Ah, Master Ike. It is good to see you well. Now, what the mission? Did you unearth any meaningful proof? Where is the Apostle? Master Ike? I must speak with the Apostle. Where is she? Apostle Sanaki is in the garden, having a pleasant conversation with Princess Silencia. I'll go directly and see if she will meet with you. Please wait here. In the garden? Great. Master Ike, no, you mustn't behave so. You'll cause such problems. Apostle. What? You? What are you doing? How dare you approach me unannounced? This is most inappropriate, and I will not... What has happened, my Lord Ike? All of it. I want to hear all of it. Now. What are you talking about? Master Ike. One must not speak to the Apostle in such a discourteous fashion. 20 years ago, something happened in this Serenes forest. Something terrible. I want to know. What? Master Ike? What happened 20 years ago? Found one of the Heron clan? And the Serenes noble, no less. One of them still lives? That... such a thing... Apostle Sanaki, tell me. That is a very difficult problem. How to impart this tale? It appears that no one is willing to begin this story. That being so, I would open with what is commonly known of the matter. Do you find this acceptable? And you are? He's a friend of mine. Master, you know something? I would hear it. When you're done, the Apostle can clarify. Agreed? It begins with the assassination of the previous Bendian Apostle. It was 20 years ago, 1 year after the Declaration of Emancipation was made. Leader at the time was the Apostle Miss Aha. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this properly. Anyways, who was more adored by the public than any apostle before or since. When she was assassinated, the citizenry was racked with grief. All of Bendian despaired. And then a rumor began to circulate that the assassination was the work of the Serenes Herons. In the twinkling of an eye, the rumor spread throughout the Bendian capital. One night shortly thereafter it happened. The citizens grew violent. They massed at the edge of Serenes Forest, home of their supposed enemy, and set it to burn. The crowd raged on for 3 nights, and in the end, the Heron clan was lost. Their involvement was just a rumor, wasn't it? Why did they... Oh, the shame of it. Apostle? The remainder of the tale is yours. Stand as the Empress of Bendian. You're responsible for the acts of your citizens, are you not? False. The accusation was completely false. The assassination of the Apostle was not the work of the Serenus clan. That is correct. The Heron clan possessed no fighting skills. Their tribe survived by living a life of peace and piety within their forest. Unlike other Lagus, they never focused on developing their strength for the purpose of combat. Anyone with any knowledge of Lagus would have known such a thing. At the very least, the citizens of Benyon would have known this. However, they had lost their leader, and in their grief, they cared little for the truth. They were merely looking for some way to vent their rage and despair. Isn't that true, Fossil? Please, Lord Nasser, your tone of voice. It's all right, Princess Lincia. He speaks the truth, be it with a sharpened tongue or no. Ike, the bird tribes of Phonesis target only Benyon ships with their piracy. The ravens of Kilves are after cargo, and so they attack everyone with equal vigor. The Hawk clans, however, hold the Heron clan as brethren, and still remember the false accusations and their brutal murder. The Heron at Oliver's mansion, he slapped my hand away when I tried to help him. He had such hatred in his eyes. When he leapt from the window, he spoke to me. Remember the genocide, he said. 20 years have passed, but I will never forgive what you did. Such needless pain. It may sound like utter hypocrisy, but my people regret deeply the actions of that horrific night. We stole the Heron clan from this world. Every time we see the blackened forest, our grave sin comes back to haunt us. Apostle, you are honorable. The majority of the senators have done their best to banish all memory of the Serenus and that night. Yet you have resisted. That is your intent, is it not? You are not like them. You are attempting to take responsibility for the actions of the people. To undo the wrongs of the past, you launched your own investigation into Lagu's emancipation issue. You've even gone so far as to hire outsiders like Ike and his mercenaries to expose the problem, haven't you? Princess Lincia? Yes? I would like once more to make use of your escorts. Would you grant me this boon? Of course. That is, if Ike and his group agree, I have no objection to your proposal. Depends on what you want. A member of the Heron clan you met. I want you to find him. I want you to meet with him. I want to speak with him. That is your wish, we will do it. In any case, we let that monster Oliver slip through our grasp. We'll handle both tasks at the same time. I'm counting on you. Okie dokie. Saving the game. Okay. Chapter 17, Day Breaks. Phonesis Hall. Is that it? Wait, there's more? Seems that Prince Ryson was able to escape Duke Tanas's villa and make his way safely to Serenese forest. However, we have ordered that Tanas's men have entered the forest in hopes of recapturing the prince. Not a moment to waste! Please, O King of Hawks, reach out your mighty talons, strike down these wretched humans, and rescue Prince Ryson. I implore you, Your Majesty, take wing at once. Why is Nasala not here? That is, His Highness must not be seen here at this time. What's going on, you old buzzard? King Kilves is the White Prince's friend, isn't he? Well, how do I put this? It's all very complicated. I care not for excuses. If anything happens to Ryson, blood will be spilled. Oh no, please, there's no cause for worry. Duke Tanas treats his works of art with a delicacy so extreme that it could best be called abnormal. He would never let any harm befall Prince Ryson. He probably can't even bring himself to touch him. The king himself told me so. That is the only reason he accepted this proposal. Proposal? What I mean is... hold it. You crows set the prince up? Set up? Oh, no. Not exactly. Please don't hurt me. So that's the truth of it, eh? Sala treated Ryson like a piece of merchandise and sold him to a human. No, that's not... The only one who referred to him as merchandise was Duke Tanas. We never... It doesn't matter. Claiming ignorance does not grant you innocence. You treated Ryson like a trinket in the public market. Oh dear. Ryson hadn't escaped on his own. Perhaps the Crow King would have rescued him when things cooled down. Regardless, Ryson trusted in his friend and followed him into the trap. And Sala spit on that friendship. Cannot forgive. Your assessment of this old bird is correct. I'm a worm, nothing more. But please, I beg of you, temper your outrage. Let it cool. You're unbelievable. What is it with you crows anyway? Everything you do is so dirty and deceptive. You will never understand your ways. Do you hear me, Grey Wings? I hear you well, young hawk. But our nation has its own issue. Please, this is not the time to yell at a tired old man. You must hurry to Prince Ryson's side. Once he is safe, you can punish me in any way that you see fit. Tear me limb from limb if you wish. But please, go to Prince Ryson. I beg of you. This begging is unseemly and unwanted. We will rescue Ryson regardless of this pathetic show of tears. Return to Kilvas and report these events to your cursed king. Tell him that when this is over, King Tabarn of Phrenesis will be paying him a visit. Yes, your highness. I know he deserves it, but I still feel bad for badgering the old coot. Your Majesty, what will we do now? Ulki, use your ears to pick out the sound of Ryson's wings, then tell me the direction from which it comes. At once. Jenna, use your eyes to peer between the trees and find me a road. You got it. Human scum. If you think to replay that night from 20 years ago, you'll get no quarter from me. Yipes. Holy moly, more. Is that you, Soren? You're up early. Actually, I'm always awake at this time. Really? Yes, you're the one who's up earlier than normal. I want to finish our mission today. I think my nervous energy woke me up. I understand. The last 2 days spent searching Serena's forest for that heron have been frustrating and fruitless. I'm sure he's in there somewhere, but I agree, and Duke Tanas' men are still hunting away. They must think the heron is there as well. The only place left is the forest's heart. That's where we should go today. With luck, when we finally locate our target. I get the feeling it's going to be a long day. Oh, you don't know the half of it. Ike, I'd like to report the results of our last battle. MVP is Nephany, new ally, devved out. No deaths and no injuries beyond our capabilities to heal. Everyone performed exceedingly well. That is all. By your leave, I'll excuse myself. Okie dokie. Info. Servants. Let's do this. Commander Ike, priest from Duke Tanas' villa insists on speaking with you. Yes, what is it? Master Mercenary, it is my understanding that you pursued Duke Tanas. I hear that you're searching Serena's forest in hopes of capturing him. And if I am? Duke Tanas' property borders the forest, and he knows much about its layout. For quite some time now, he's been sending men into the forest to look for any herons who may still live there. I see. So you're saying that his troops know the forest well. I, too, have been taken into the forest. You? Why take a priest? Thought that herons would make themselves known if a priest called to them. He's also taken dozens of chaste maidens and tried having them called to the herons as well. But he didn't find any, did he? No. And yet this time, the joy he expressed after paying such an exorbitant price for the Serena's royal was apparent. It was not natural. The Duke has gone mad. To think that he would dare to defy the Apostle, he is damned. And here you stand. You're going to tell me what you remember about the forest, even though it means you're betraying Tanis, right? You read me well. To begin with, the heart of the forest was divided into 3 large sections, maybe more. It was nearly colorless and difficult to see far. The muddy floor pulled at our feet. Our progress was slow. Many of the soldiers around me were afraid that they didn't bring enough supplies. They said a person would need them if he got lost, because getting out again would be no easy task. What can you tell me about Duke Tanis' forces? There were a lot of them. He had soldiers of every type. It was said that his mounted units and magic users were especially powerful. At the very least, you should be prepared to deal with those 2 groups. Thank you. My parents. They both participated in the Serenez massacre. They're nearing the ends of their lives, but even now they lie awake at night and beg the goddess for forgiveness. I became a priest in order to help my parents, but then I was assigned to work at Duke Tanis' villa. I knew of his troubled deeds, but his position as an imperial senator frightened me. I have been silent far too long. Master Mercenary, you must rescue that Serenez youth. I beg of you. May the goddess guide your hand. Don't worry. I have no intention of letting that villain steal him from before my very eyes. Here you are. We've been in Benyon for a while now, so tell me something. Why are you still here? Are you pretending to be our friend so you can lance us in the back? You have to understand. I didn't know anything. I was born and raised in the Telerega region of Dayan. It's a very remote area. My father was a soldier, and I grew up thinking that I, too, would one day be a soldier. A soldier to make my father proud. My life was simple. I questioned nothing, doubted nothing. And do you know the first thing we're taught in Dayan schools? Subhumans are evil. Subhumans are the enemy. Subhumans must be eradicated. The army stages periodic subhuman hunts. We'd find refugees from Benyon hiding in our mountains and forests. You participated? You don't get it. That's just how things are in Dayan. No one taught me the word Laguz. No one taught me that subhumans could be like this. No one cared. When I saw the bird tribes at sea, I was convinced that the teachings were true. They were inhuman monsters. But later, I saw the dragons push your ship off the reef, and it confused me. What if I had been raised to believe a lie? My heart pounded at the thought of it, and my doubts only grew with time. So, you decided to remain aboard in order to ascertain the truth. That's your true motive, isn't it? How did you know? I've known a lot of soldiers, and none would ever accept charity from an enemy. It would wound their pride. You obviously have pride to spare, so I knew there was some other factor at play. Oh, well, have you reached a conclusion? What will you do? I want to stay here. At first I thought I could protect my old life, and I could prove the subhumans were monsters. But I was wrong, and now things are different. The Laguz. I want to know the truth about them, and I need to base that on what I see, not what I am told by others. In that case, you can stay as long as you like. I appreciate it. I think meeting all of you was a very good thing. And dipped in. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Hey there. You have a minute? Oh, Captain, how are you today? It's Commander, not Captain. Well, you seem to be enjoying yourself. That's because this garden is so pretty. Devdan loves all plants and flowers. How about you, Commander? They're alright, I suppose. That makes Devdan rather sad. Alright is not a very strong feeling. It is boring. You should be a more emotional commander. Even things you're used to will show you something new if you look hard enough, and discoveries are exciting. That's what life is all about. At least that's what Devdan thinks. Some disagree, and that makes Devdan upset. He may be onto something. In Crimea, when my father was still alive, I think I was more open to such things. But now, I just don't have the time. Honestly, all I can think about is defeating Dayan. I have no energy left to spend on flowers. If you talk like that, you'll never defeat Dayan. What did you say? The war is new. If you're already so focused on preparations, you'll wear out before the fighting begins. Hold on a moment. Alright, let's see if we can do some supports here. Finally, I can be with Soren. Do you have a second, Soren? What is it, Ike? What's wrong? You've been quiet and moody for days. What's going on? Well, it's... Yes? It's nothing. You've never worried about who you are, have you? Your family, where you come from? Who I am? Well, not really, no. I guess I don't understand what you're getting at. I had a father and a mother. I don't remember much about her, but otherwise no complaints. Must be nice to have loving parents. You need people to experience your childhood, to help shape the person you will become. Without an adult around to affirm and support them, a child can't know which path to take or who he really is. Do you have any memory of your parents? No. The woman who raised me was not my birth mother. She wasn't all that fond of me, anyway. My earliest memories are of her saying, "Why me? The world isn't fair," or "Stay away from me, child." No love, no affection. She took care of me out of some sense of duty that she didn't really possess. When I was about 4, a nearby sage came by and asked to take me in. He said I possessed rare magical talent. I remember the day clearly. My caretaker was delighted to give me up. In fact, she seemed almost delirious with pleasure. Smiling like a madwoman as she handed me over, the sage even gave her gold as compensation. Not that it was necessary. Oh, Soren, I had no idea. The sage was old and knew that death would soon come for him. His only goal was to teach his art to an apprentice. As time was short, he put me through terribly rigorous magic training. We worked day and night without cease. Didn't even have time to think about who I really was, but it was still a better life than I had ever known. When the sage died 2 years later, I had acquired much magical skill, perhaps too much for a child of my age. At any rate, once I had eaten all of the food in the sage's hovel, I left and walked for days to find help. Upon reaching civilization, I came to another grim realization. I couldn't speak, not a word. Soren? Oh, I could read and write better than most of the villagers, and I could understand what they said, I just couldn't talk. I couldn't help it. The woman and the sage both used to hurl words at me, unkind words usually, but I never needed to answer, so... Soren! Huh? Oh, I apologize, Ike. Should not have made you listen to such nonsense. Soren, it's not nonsense. It's awful. It's the most terrible thing I've ever heard. Where did this happen? Was it in Benyon? No. But there's more. I haven't told you about my parents. No, that's enough. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wait, Soren? Soren! Blast. Okay. Anything else? These two can get maxed. Hello, Titania. Gonna join your training again today? Sure, go ahead. Looks like you're getting your strength back. You look healthy. Yes, thanks to you. Oh, I didn't do much. Say, Rice, what do you think of Ike? Ike? Well, I'm not the person to be judging another's battle skills, so I guess you want to know my take of the man. Ike? Well, despite his appearance and the occasional angry outburst, he can be very thoughtful. Most importantly, he has doggedness, determination, and grit. He possesses the strength to turn ideal into reality. I think he is the right choice to lead the ground mercenaries. I agree with you, but he is still young. He still has much to learn, and I wonder how those experiences will shape him. Frankly, I'm a little concerned. Why is that? Our company is only going to grow, and he will soon face many hard choices, and also some temptations. We'll make money, but we're going to get job offers that will result in people getting hurt, or worse. And to feed and equip a group of this size, we'll need jobs with a certain amount of risk. Commander Grail faced those same problems, didn't he? He did, but Grail, he was different. The original Grail mercenaries were famous for not being typical mercenaries. Sometimes we took on jobs for free, and we helped countless people at the expense of our own coffers. I believe that Ike holds the same ideals as Commander Grail. I'm sure he does. Yes, I'm sure of it. Ike will definitely find reasons for us to fight and live. He'll pick the right path. I won't have to tell him anything. All we have to do is believe in Ike and follow him to the end. Agreed. Alright. These two can also... Leith? Oh, look what the cat dragged in. It's you again. Jill. My name is Jill. Fine, Jill. And what brings you here today? More stupid questions? I've been thinking about things, and haven't been able to figure out. See, in Dane we were taught that you attack humans indiscriminately and without mercy. That you're just savage animals. Who's attacking humans? We're garbage. We dislike even the company of humans, and want nothing to do with them. Even mauling you would be unpleasant. But in Dane, everyone believes that to be the truth. That's why I never questioned it. When I saw you fight beside Ike and other humans on the South Sea, I knew that something was wrong. You were so different from what I imagined. Ever since I was young, they filled my head with tales of your terrible claws and teeth. But you stand on two legs, and you talk. You even make jokes. Sometimes you're much closer to us than a beast. So glad to hear it. Wonder why humans and subhumans started fighting in the first place. Maybe we're just destined for war. Well, I don't know much about that. It's not for me to say if the goddess made us a certain way, or if we're just two races that don't like each other very much. But I know that Gallia, Phonesis, and Kilvass all have a reason to hate humans. What reason? Are you serious? I take it humans aren't interested in passing history down to their children. Typical. Alright. Centuries ago, when Bennion was still a monarchy, the only countries were Bennion and Goldoa. Goldoa was as it is today, a reclusive nation inhabited only by dragon tribes. All the other Lagoos lived in Bennion with the humans. Humans and subhumans used to live together in Bennion? I had no idea. Human was named as the first king, although the Lagoo's superior strength led us to rule more often than not. Despite the harmony that most felt about this agreement, the senators wanted nothing to do with it. In the name of the apostle, they claimed that only a human could be the true ruler of Bennion, and started a civil war. Like blind mewling kittens, the Lagoo's kings underestimated the situation. We never had a chance. Caught by surprise, my brothers suffered defeat after defeat in the face of superior human weapons and magic. That was the start of long, dark days, the start of Lagoo slavery. After nearly 200 years, a small number of enslaved Lagoos managed to escape their human captors in Bennion. The beast tribes fled to the mountains and unexplored forest areas, places where humans were loath to tread. The bird tribes, on the other hand, escaped to the distant southern isles. This is how our Lagoo's kingdoms began. It took another 80 years, and the blood of many brother Lagoos, until we were formally recognized as nations. This is why we fight, why we hate. Humans don't want former slaves to have countries and be treated as equals. Lagoos carry the shame of the past deep in their hearts, and struggle still for the freedom that you take for granted. This is the true history of Tellius. No wonder humans would bury it. I don't know what to say? Idiot. Think about what I've said. Think about what you've seen with your eyes and heard with your ears. If you don't even have the guts to do that, never show yourself in my presence again. Alright. So that's pretty much what Jill said to Ike when we went through her section there. But anyways, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Godspeed, stay frosty. See you later. Bye.